Welcome back to this week's Westfield Sports Show. We're your hosts, Kelly and Tristan. We will have Amaya join us later for national sports, but now let's talk about Westfield. We're starting off with boys basketball. They beat the hometown rivals Carmel 52-43. Will Harvey led the way with 13 points, Brock Denham with 12, and Drew Hafner with 11, kind of right behind each other, competing for that top spot. Brock Denham has been popping up lately with his numbers. Kind of Durante Moore too, as he had 8 this game. And then Friday, they travel to play the 8-5 Royals HSC at HSC. That's going to be a good game as Westfield is 8-1, and then HSC is 8-5. Kind of interesting. Westfield has some games postponed for later in the year.
Now we travel to girls basketball. Wednesday on the 8th, they beat Bishop Chatard 48-40. On Saturday, they beat Hamilton Heights 53-14. What a dominating win that they had.
That is dominating. Not even close. I feel like Hamilton Heights just didn't even try that game.
They didn't even pull up that game. Well, on Friday they play home against Brownsburg.
Wrestling kind of dominated as we're seeing the wrestlers being the top spots in the state. We've kind of seen Connor Maddox make his name on there as he's kind of ranked number 6 in the state. And then swimming for the Hoosier Conference champions, it didn't quite go their way. Kind of the domination of swimming like Zionsville, they kind of dominated them. But now it's kind of on the national sports time. We're going to talk about Notre Dame and Ohio State. Tristan, who do you want to win this game?
I'm not a fan of them, but give me the Buckeyes. Earlier I talked about how that running back duo of Quinshawn Judkins and Trevion Henderson, just insane. You can compare that to the Jahmyr Gibbs and the David Montgomery running back duo. And then that defense led by Jack Sawyer, just insane. And, of course, you can't forget about freshman phenom Jeremiah Smith. So it's going to be a lot for Notre Dame to handle. Notre Dame has a great defense, but that offense is going to struggle a bit, I think, against that Ohio State defense.
Yeah. Jeremiah Smith kind of leading the way as we've seen him, kind of like Ryan Williams for Alabama. Those two, crazy. But I want Notre Dame to win, but ultimately I think Notre Dame's going to struggle, especially against this Ohio State defense that we've seen versus Texas. They were like no other. They're going to put pressure on Riley Leonard. And Riley Leonard can use his legs, but he kind of shuts down a little bit sometimes when he's pressured in the pocket. Right. So that's where we're going to see Notre Dame kind of struggle. And I think a little bit on defense, too, especially with Jeremiah Smith. He likes those deep routes. Probably put Watts on him is what Notre Dame will do. But still, we've seen Watts deal with some injuries. And also, we play a lot of zone. And when you're in zone versus Smith, he's beating you up every time. So I think Ohio State will take that. And we'll figure that out January 20th. But now
the NFL playoff predictions. First, we're going to have the Chiefs play the Texans. I think I'm going to go with the Texans in that. Even though they're division rivals with the Colts, big Colts fan, I hate to pick it, but I have to say it because I really don't want to see the Chiefs three-peat. It's just not going to be fun. Yes, they're a good team, but, you got to see something else sometimes. And, if that's hating, then I'm hating, but I want the Texans.
Yeah, I'm 100% agree with you. Me and the Chiefs just they started off real strong. They have a chance, but now it's kind of been domination. You see your Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce this, but Travis Kelce has not played how he normally plays this season. He's not even in the candidate for best tight end.
Gotta say, age is catching up maybe.
Yeah.
Hey.
He might have another season or two, and then he can go off with his Taylor Swift, whoever she is. But I think C.J. Stroud will lead the way to the Texans. I think the Texans, as they dominate the Chargers, they're going to do the same, especially since the Chiefs struggled against the Broncos in the kind of last game of the season. So I'm going Texans here. Bye-bye to the Chiefs, hopefully.
Next game, we have the Bills versus Ravens, the MVP race right now between the two very talented quarterbacks of Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Me, love the Bills, love Josh Allen, love watching them play. But give me the Ravens with that. Ravens have just been dominant. They've been dominant all season. They can run the ball, which, as an offensive lineman, run the ball all the time when it works. Slicker. But, of course, you got to have the person who's leading the way, Lamar, and then you have a top 2 running back of Derrick Henry, and you just have probably one of, if not the best defense in the NFL. So I would love to see the Ravens pull it off.
Yeah, the Ravens are a good team, but I'm going to disagree here. I'm going to go Bills. I know it's kind of interesting, but I think the Bills dominated yesterday, and I think they're I want them to do the same thing. They're going to struggle. Josh Allen, but it's going to be interesting because both Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson like to use their legs, especially on third down. We saw Josh Allen do it a lot yesterday. But I'm going the Bills here, but I just don't think it's going to happen. And I would love to kind of see Lamar Jackson get that credit and get that Super Bowl ring, but we'll kind of have to see.
Right. I would love to see either one of them win a ring, but Lamar just having the season that he had last year where he won the MVP to this year, he's had a better season than he had his MVP season last year. So, again, got to go Ravens.
Yeah, and now we're going to talk about this Monday Night Football game. As you're seeing this, you already know who won. But Rams and Vikings are playing each other, and then the winner will play the Lions. Kind of two tough teams, and it's going to be a short week for whoever wins this. Tristan, Rams or Vikings?
This is a tough one. I think they're both, pretty competitive teams, but I'm going to go Vikings. Like I say defense wins championships. You hear that all the time. Vikings have a great defense, and they have young, phenomenal receiver in Justin Jefferson. And I think, people go back to that Vikings-Lions game, and Vikings didn't win because of, red zone situation. But they still got into the red zone, and even though they didn't capitalize on their fourth downs in red zone, I still think their offense is pretty good. So I'm going to go Vikings for this one. Sorry, Puka Nacua.
Yeah, Sean McVay, he's had that Super Bowl experience since he won not too long ago, but I just don't know. I don't think there are teams as qualified as the Vikings are, especially with their defense. Harrison Smith kind of leads the way in the secondary, and I'm hoping he does the same. And Sam Darnold, he's a quarterback that we've seen not much of until this season. Right. He's been bounced around different teams, and he's led this team farther than, maybe J.J. McCarthy. We don't know since his injury would have led this team. So, especially with Justin Jefferson, Sam Darnold tries to find those targets. And their wide receiver targets are unlike no other team. They have so many targets. Like, Justin Jefferson might be doubled, but there's three others. Targets.
Jordan Addison, Aaron Jones. You got options on that offense.
They're not struggling.
Yeah.
And then our last game, the rookie sensation, Jaden Daniels and the Commanders versus Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. I think this could be one of the toughest games we see.
I agree with you. Eagles, showed a little bit of struggle, and obviously Jaden Daniels as a rookie playing phenomenal. But with that being said, I will have to go with the Eagles on this game. I just think the Eagles have the experience. Jaden Daniels did great at, won Heisman with LSU, and then obviously probably he's most likely going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. So he's a great quarterback, but that team's just so young. I'm going to have to go with the Eagles. You have the experience with, that offensive line who's top 3 in the NFL. You got Jalen Hurts, who's shown, some signs of struggles, but still a phenomenal quarterback. And then obviously can't forget about reverse hurdle, Saquon Barkley. And then that amazing defense that they have, I have to go with the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I would love the Commanders. I think Jaden Daniels, as definitely a rookie, he's led this Commanders to a team we've kind of seen not. Like the Redskins, terrible. Commanders, we've kind of seen light since the name change. But I just think the Eagles with Saquon Barkley, as he's kind of MVPing too,
right.
He's making those records and breaking them. So I'm going to go Eagles, but I really just want the Commanders to win because that's just something you don't see a lot.
Yeah.
Especially, this is kind of the wild card team is the Commanders making their way into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we're going to go to Amaya to see her picks as she breaks down these sports like we did.
Two great teams here. Me personally, I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs. But so next, moving on, looking at Rams and Vikings, both great teams. Sadly, I think that the Vikings will take the W, but I'm a Rams fan, so, I got to root for
That's all for today, Shamrocks. Have a great day.